As US President Donald Trump puts a pause on the supply of arms and aid in a drastic move against Volodymyr Zelenskiy, the question now is, will Ukraine be able to sustain for long? Interesting to recall, in 2024, Ukraine, which was heavily under fire from Russia, managed to come back in the game when the then Joe Biden administration sanctioned funds and tactical weapons for Zelensky and his men. US President Donald Trump has ordered a pause on US military aid to Ukraine following a tense Oval House meeting aiming to push Ukrainian President Zelensky towards peace talks with Russia. The White House has announced a review and temporary pause on aid to ensure it supports a peaceful resolution. The pause has gone into effect immediately. All US military equipment not yet in Ukraine would be halted, including weapons en route by air or sea and those held in transit areas in Poland. Amidst all these developments, Ukrainian lawmakers have termed US aid pause problematic and hoped for European help.
The problem will not only be that the United States will not supply us with something, the problem will be whether they are going to make our lives more difficult and limit the possible assistance of our partners.
However, people in Moscow welcome the announced US military aid suspension to Ukraine.
The US aid suspension to Ukraine is the key to resolving the conflict so that they probably won't have anything to fight with.
The European Commission has pitched in by proposing 150 billion euros in joint EU borrowing to provide defense loans to member states.
Good morning, everyone. We are in an era of rearmament. And Europe is ready to massively boost its defense spending, both to respond to the short-term urgency to act and to support Ukraine, but also to address the long-term need to take on more responsibility for our own European security.
Russia has said that the US decision to pause military aid to Ukraine would be the best contribution to peace, but emphasized the need for more clarity on the move.
Of course, the details are yet to be known, but if this is true, then this is a decision that can really encourage the Kiev regime to come to the peace process.
Since taking office in January, Trump has upended US policy on Ukraine and Russia, adopting a more conciliatory approach with Moscow, leaving Ukraine and European allies wary. Meanwhile, Russia stated that any normalization of relations with US would require Washington to lift sanctions on Moscow. Meanwhile, France voiced opposition to seizing frozen Russian assets to fund a European military spending boost for Ukraine, arguing such a move would be against international agreements. With Bureau Inputs, Shagnik Chakraborty for DD India.